What is up, everybody? We are here to continue Oshinoko season 2. Is this distracting? Is this bothering you? Because now that I'm looking at the footage, I'm like, it's kind of distracting. But anyways, Oshinoko season 2. I've already reacted to season 1. Mostly, I would say I was positive on season 1, but not necessarily. I didn't necessarily enjoyed it as much as some people do, but still a really solid show nonetheless. Season 2 so far, at least from the episodes that I have seen as of recording of this video, I've been really enjoying it. A lot more than season 1, I would say. These are my reactions from a live stream that I did on Twitch. But if you do want to watch like the time-based version, then links in the description below. If you want to watch like early access to the next couple of episodes, it's on the Patreon. But anyways, Oshinoko season 2. All right, we're watching a movie, a theater play.
世界の命運を決める21の刀が極東の地に散らばった。
I am loving this presentation so far, like getting immersed with the audience. So obviously we are setting up what I am assuming is going to be the central focus of this arc. A stage play. I wonder if these are actually our characters, now that I'm thinking about it. Like they're all in costume and makeup, and we just couldn't recognize them. Or at least I don't recognize them. Tokyo Blade.
さや姫。
陶器。
この物語はフィクションである。
Of course. Of course. Whoa. She's Saya? I like how we're just being dropped straight into it. Like, no build up to this. Like, nope, we're just here. We're working on a stage play. Nice transition.
新生 B 小町のファーストライブから季節は移ろい、4ヶ月が経ちました。
4 months.
公部数5000万部を超える人気漫画「東京ブレイド」は日本各地に存在するチームが抗争を繰り広げ、互いに友情や愛情を深めていく王道バトルストーリーだ。今回の劇はこの2チームが戦う渋谷構想編を柱にシナリオが展開する。
The Shibuya conflict arc. What does everything has to be the Shibuya arc? I'm watching JJK. Like, can it be something else?
舞台に立つやつは基本的に演技が好きで演技に真摯なやつばかりだ。
Whoa.
演技は愛の真実に近づくための手段。
Of course.
そろそろ休憩終わるぞ。
ちょっと待って。行こう。
Wow. Just that switch in her character. Obviously you can see it through her eyes.
役にどっぷり入り込む没入型と周りの演技をきれいに受ける適応型、演じ方も対照的。見た感じ、あかねちゃんの方が一歩先行ってる感じかな。有馬ちゃんも負けないでほしいな。
うちには姫川がいるからな。
Whoa. Oh, I love that. Okay. Getting transfixed into the role. Get immersed. And they were just talking about Arima getting outshined. Huh. I love this presentation. The use of paint and color. Bravo.
どいつもこいつも負けず嫌いだからよ。あんなの見せられて何も思わねえわけがない。あれとどう戦うか必死になって考えてしまうもんなんだよ。
Yeah, competition builds your own skills.
有馬、ちょっといいか。
何？
ここなんて読むんだ。
3日目ともなると稽古場でグループが出来上がっています。
Yeah.
主演グループ、
分かった。
ララライグループにちょい役グループ、それと
And then,
私の彼氏孤立してるな。
yeah.
有馬は周囲のレベルに合わせて演技をする癖がある。それは過去自己顕示欲の強い演技で仕事を失った有馬がこの業界で生き残るための戦略なのかもしれない。
Right. I mean, she sees this as a chance to prove herself yet again, right? At least in this caliber of appeal, I guess.
怒るなら怒れよ。感情表現子供か。
Jealousy.
俺は最初から勝とうなんて思ってない。才能あるやつに勝てるなんて思ってないよ。
Hmm.
皆殺しにしてやりなさい。
黒川、そこの演技はもう少し強めでいい。周りのテンションに合わせて。
わかりました。
Hmm.
強めの演技。
Arima's gonna do it in one take, and then they're like, alright, cool, sweet. That's good.
何度も言ってる。バカにするな。
怪しいぞ。こいつ時々なまるしな。
なまってた？
The difference in how they spoke with Arima and how with Kana and how they spoke with Akane.
いわゆる負けヒロインというやつだ。
Ooh.
原作最新話では許嫁設定もほとんど死に設定になってる不遇のキャラクター。妄想で欠けたピースを保管して自分の中でキャラを作り上げなきゃいけない。
Lovely presentation here.
私のキャラ解釈と脚本の解釈はだいぶ食い違ってるようだった。
Naturally, yeah.
原作とだいぶ違う。めちゃくちゃ記号的なキャラにされてる。これじゃ殺戮大好きなクレイジーだよ。
The characters changed now.
違うメディアに落とし込むために多少の変更は仕方ないとしても
Yes, of
脚
course.
本家にあまりにも便利に使われてる。
Hmm.
原作の先生がこれで OK 出したんだもん。これでやるしかないんだ。
Oh, lovely use of lighting here.
この脚本ってどう思う？ちょっと原作とは違うでしょ？
ああ。でも割と原作に準拠した脚本だと思うぞ。
The qualms of adapting a manga, or any adaptation in general.
すみません。黒川が脚本について質問があるみたいなのですが。
We're just okay. A man of action.
原作だともっと葛藤が。
まあね、そこは僕もかなり悩んだ。
But
ただその葛藤を演劇というメディアに変換した時、できないことはないんだけど、やや尺を取りすぎてしまう。
compromises have to be made, especially with a tight runtime.
ただでさえ登場人物が多く、さまざまな思惑が錯綜する群像劇を2時間程度の尺に入れ込むとなると、シンプルに整理する必要がある。
Yep.
じゃないと全てのシーンが散漫になるし、お客に伝わりづらい作品になってしまう。
If only people understand this when it comes to adaptations. But of course they don't. They want it to be as one-to-one as possible. Faithful as possible.
甘やかすな。俺も原作は最初の何巻かは読んだが、
Oh, a different perspective
高木の
here.
心情を入れればノイズになる。この舞台においてお前の役割は心情の深さを
Your
見
role
せ
is
る
not
こ
to
とじゃない
express the depth of your emotions.
スペシャルゲストがお越しです。
Oh,
こんにちは。
hello.
東京ブレイド作者のアビコ先生。
She's young. 22.
先生、お久っす。ああ、どうも。
What did he do?
そりゃお前、京アマではめちゃくちゃしてたしな。
Well,
原作者からしたら親の敵みたいなもんだろ。
okay, that's understandable.
イケメンと美女は目を合わせただけでテン
まあわかるけど。
どうですか、先生。
みんな演技上手。いい舞台にできると思う。すごいな。私にはできない。
She's cute.
私が言わなきゃですよね。
Oh,
脚本って今からでも直してもらえますか？
revisions this late in the game?
どのあたりっていうか。
All of it. Which part? All of it.
全部。
Yeah, I saw that coming. Oh. The ED being a Ruby focus one does beg the question of what is Ruby's role gonna be in season 2? Because currently speaking, she's not really a part of the Tokyo Blade role Now is she? So what's gonna be her B plot?
もちろんですが、どのあたりを？
どのあたりっていうか、全部
Yeah, all of their reactions are like, oh, excuse me? Whoa, 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 whoa. So what happened? What made her... Well, we're not even focusing on the author. Never mind.
よろしくな。
よろしくね。
なんだよその間は。ろくに演技できないやついて、今日天の悪夢が再びとか思ってんだろ。
バレてる。
Interesting that we started I guess this arc with the first episode, with how that went, and now we're actually going back to how it actually begins. Because the first episode definitely made me invested with this arc, so now we're actually exploring the arc from the very beginning.
三田のりお、足立のメイ、吉富小雪、林原黄色、船戸龍馬。
I'm not gonna remember all of these names. If you're not part of the main character group, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna remember your names.
起きろ、バカもんが。
ああ、さあさあ、
Whoa!
この芝居の主演の役名なんだっけ？
We got a lot of awards.
舞台は私の本業だし、今度は私がアクア君の助けになるよ。
Of course.
いつでも頼ってほしいなって思っただけ。
そうか、助かる。なんかあったら相談するな。
These two. Jeez.
番組上そういう流れになってるみたいね。でもあくまでビジネスみ
Purely business, purely business. Copium, copium.
になったら番受け悪いでしょうし。
まあ向こうは役柄上でもいい名付けだし。
Of
狙
course.
ってのキャスティングなんかな。
Very deliberate
私は
indeed.
役者のリアル情報と板の上をリンクさせるのノイズになるから好きじゃないけどね。乾杯。先生、忙しい中来てくれてあ
Alright,
りがとう
let's
ござ
see.
います。
Let's see these two.
何言ってるのよ。元アシスタントとはいえ、もう鮫島さんは一発の作家。漫画もアニメも大大大ヒットの週刊漫画家が直々に飲みに誘ってくれたんだもの。
I like her design.
いろいろ言いたいことはあるけど、どこまで言っていいのかもわからな
Not
い。
sure how far it's okay for me to go. Change the whole thing.
2軒目行きましょう。
その前に歯磨きいいですか？私何か食べた後はすぐ磨かないと気持ち悪くて。
Okay.
漫画は最悪一人でも描けるけど、メディア化は多くの人が関わる分、コミュ力が問われる。
Yes.
現場に任せっきりだと好き勝手やられがちなのは事実としてあるものの、
Also yes.
原作者が変に出張って現場が混乱するなんて話もそこら中で耳にする。
Also yes. She's actually brushing her teeth.
ダブル歯磨きです。歯ブラシ2つ使えば2倍の速度で磨けるじゃないですか。
Genius.
やっぱり変人だ。
Genius.
全部直してください。
やっぱり
Here we go.
この脚本でいいのがわかるって言うから、本当にいいなら OK ですけどって言いました。でも、良くないから、OK じゃないですよね。
Well,
しかしですね、事前に何度かやり取りさせていただいて、
just notice like the color of the scene just fully desaturated in this moment.
あなたがこの脚本書いた人なんです。
Ah, shit.
本当に東京ブレイド読んでくれてますか？
もちろん読ませていただいてます。
You're not reading it hard enough.
別に展開を変えるのはいいんです。でも、キャラを変えるのは無礼だと思いませんか？
But Sensei,
うちの子たちはこんなバカじゃないんですけど。
but Sensei, this is just an adaptation.
それは演劇というメディアの性質。
He actually does say it. But this is a stage play.
だから全部どれだけ言っても治ってないんですよ。
It's it's complicated.
ちゃんと原作読んだ上でこれって言うなら、この人ちょっと創作者としてのセンスが。
Okay. don't destroy his sense of pride. Come on now.
メディアミックスをするにあたって、
Mm,
原作者と脚本家が揉めがちなのは本当によくある話。
of course. All the time.
そして2稿3稿とリライティングされ、 ほぼ
I
完
have
成形に
seen
近い段階で、
that Excel spreadsheet before. Getting PTSD of university time. Ugh.
ただし原作者と脚本家の間には多くの大人が仲介し、リライティングはほぼほぼ伝言ゲームになる。
Essentially.
アビコ先生は漫画のことになると突然多弁になるからな。整理して文章化するの大変だよ。
こんな怒った感じの文章、そのまま先
じゃあここ足すか。
I like how we're seeing all of
セリ
this.
フ少ない方が
You know, like
多い
this-
と思うんだけど。
Like the hard, long process of
気色なってる。脚本家才能なくない？
of adapting a work.
ほら、ここの修正とか聡明さが消えてバカな女にしか見えない。もう私に全部脚本書かせてください。
No!
ちょっとそれは。
Don't do that.
いやもう本当に。
絶対にやりま
Poor
す。
dude.
じゃなきゃこの劇の許諾取り下げます。
Okay, she has given an ultimatum.
違約金って何千万とかでしょ。いいですよ、私が出します。
そういうわけにはいかないんです。結局会社が出すことになるんですよ。
じゃあ出して。
And pay up.
私ギャラいらないんで、名義もそのままで、脚本家さんには普通にギャラ払ってください。でももう関わらなくていいです。
Damn.
子供みたいな人だな。
I wouldn't describe it as childish, though. It's a very natural response.
脚本家の地位って君たちが思っているよりずっと低いんだ。
The sad reality.
上の人が何か言ったら簡単に首をすげ替えられる。
Hollywood scripts get rewritten every time.
つまらなかったらファンから先般のように晒し上げられて、面白かったら全部原作の手柄。リライティングってのは地獄の創作だよ。
Yep. It absolutely is.
降ろされるのは別に構いません。ただクレジットからは僕の名前消してもらえませんか。
事故にあったと思ってどうか飲んでくれないかな。
クレジットはままで構いません。今度飯をおごってくださいよ。
ほんと申し訳ない。何でも好きなだけ食ってくれ。
Eh. Again, pretty hellish. Especially if you treat this as a passion project.
魂込めて脚本書いた。
Yeah. I wonder if he's gonna stand his ground and prove her wrong.
というわけで一旦脚本が白紙に戻った。原作サイドとの交渉の後、新しい脚本が上がり次第連絡をする。
Well, we're like 20 days away, 19 days away.
そういや、そのステージアラウンドって何？
知らないで稽古してたの？
劇のステージなんてほとんど同じだろ。場面転換のたびにセット入れ替えてテンポ悪いし、可動式のセットは安っぽい。劇特有の大げさな演技にいまいち乗れない。
でもその答えはちょっと古いかな。役者がその認識じゃちょっと困るよ。ステアラで舞台見たことないんだ。せっかく時間できたんだからちょっとデートしよう。
Well, you know what I will say about the episode so far is that the thing that I am enjoying right now is how they are portraying the many difficulties of actually adapting a work. Regardless if it's like an anime, stage play, movie, there's a lot that goes in, and I'm glad that the show is showcasing like the two different perspectives, not just from the author's side, but also from the production side. Ruby! Holy shit! They remembered her character. Alright, let's get a Ruby episode.
昨日俳優の堂山くんから DM で食事に誘われたとか。
ああ、そういえば朝ドラ出てた穴波も堂山くんから DM 来たって言っとったな。
やってんね。
Feeling left out?
じゃあピエヨンさんにコラボお願いしてみるよ。コラボ動画もいいけどまたライブとかしたいよ。あれ、お兄ちゃんは？あいつなら
On a date.
これ
It's a cool looking theater, man. Oh, he's getting immersed.
これマジか。
Oh, they didn't show the full. Okay. I'm kind of disappointed now. I wanted to see it.
何より驚いたのが客席が360度回転したことだ。
Hmm.
舞台そのものもすごく良かった。 演出も映像畑の人間からは出ない発想ばかりで。
Oh, look at how Akane is feeling really giddy hearing somebody talk about stage plays.
これをきっかけに演劇の楽しみ方を分かってもらえたら嬉しいな。
まあ、ちょっとは前向きになった。
それでいいと思う。
Well, well, well.
いやーいやーご両人。
ライダさん。
出ていく客の顔を見るのさ。客の顔は素直だ。楽しんでもらえた時は笑顔だし。
Seeing their reactions.
ライダさん、脚本の件大丈夫なんですか？
Ooh! Well, about that.
無理ですよね。今日の劇を見て思いました。東京ブレイドの脚本はこの箱の強みをフルに生かす工夫が組み込まれてた。
Right, right.
おそらく原作者は舞台も装置のことも何も知らない。
Of course.
脚本と装置が高レベルに噛み合ったプロの仕事だった。
Look at this, though.
いくら売れっ子漫画家とはいえ、舞台脚本の素人にあのレベルのものが作れるはずがない。
She may be a manga author, but she's not a script writer. For a stage play, there's a difference in medium. Their strengths and weaknesses.
彼が書いた脚本の舞台はいつも客がニコニコでホールから出ていく。本当に下ろしたくなんてなかった。
Now we gotta convince her.
私も原作視点で見たら、ゴアさんの脚本に不満がないと言ったら嘘になるけど。
Of course. She was also very critical about it.
漫画家さんのお家って初めてです。
俺も初め。
She just ignores him.
全部デジタルなんですね。最近の主流はそうね。
漫画家さんってすごいっすよね。絵も脚本も自分でやるんですから。
No. He's trying, man. He's trying.
早速乾杯って思ったけど、みんないくつだっけ
16です。
17。
16。
17。
うわっか、死にたくなってきた。
漫画家に限らず、一度売れた創作者ってのは大体自分が一番実力があると思ってるって。
Of course. I mean, she can also convince, forgetting her name, but she can also convince the
鮫
manga
島アビコ
author.
を説
You
得
know?
できるのは
Yeah, yeah,
こ
yeah.
の人しかいない。
Abiko.
基本的に週刊連載って人間のやる仕事じゃないから。脳を週刊用にチューンナップされた兵士がやる仕
Oh
事だか
boy.
ら。アニメ化やらなんやらで描かなきゃいけないカラーイラストの仕事だとか監修物だとかが山のようにあるでしょうし。
The anime is literally, we're dying here. The industry is in shambles. We're getting worked to death here.
漫画家同士って漫画を読めば作者がどういう人間なのか大体わかるのよ。
どういうところでわかるんですか？
大体絵でわかるわ。どういうところにこだわってどういうところで手を抜くのか。
What detail do the artists hyperfixate on? Interesting.
まあその後サクッと終ジャンで連載決まってトントン拍子で売れっ子になって一瞬で追い抜かれていって。
Ooh. Fujimoto and all of his assistants.
編集の仕事って2つあるの。
売れる漫画を作らせること。
2つ目は何だろう。
正解は売れた漫画を終わらせないこと。
怖っ。
We're dying here. This is a cry for help. This entire season is a cry for help from the anime industry and the manga industry. Oshinoko is weekly too. Definitely a cry for help.
舞台の人たち困ってたよ。もう少し向こうの事情も組んであげてもいいんじゃない？
Ooh.
先生が組みすぎなんじゃないですか。現場を信じて任せて。京アマはああなっちゃったんじゃないですか。
Oh, I mean, she's not wrong. She's not wrong.
この世の創作物の9割はダ作だと思ってます。つまりこの世のクリエイターの9割は三流。
Okay, being a bit, being pretentious here, but that is her
それを言え
character.
るのはあなたが天才だからよ。
Ooh.
先生、アニメ化が決まったんです。
早いわね。おめでとう。
And then jealousy from her. But also,
先生は私の師
it's
匠
hard. You admire her.
思ってます。
You want to feel happy for her.
ごめんね。原作をいじられることに不満を持つアビコ先生の気持ちとてもよくわかるから。
Yeah, Abiko is Abiko. How she thinks about her stories is is a reflection of her character.
これをアビコ先生に渡してもらえませんか？
Oh, Aqua. Hang on. He got a plan B.
アビコ先生、お邪魔するわよ。あれ？そっちの締め切りって昨日じゃなかった？オーバーしてるの？はい。
Ooh. Miss Deadlines.
こんなんでアシスタント呼べるの？
今アシスタントいないんで。
え？
I don't think she wants an
手
assistant.
も絵柄合わせてくれないし。
Yeah.
背景で感情表現全然できてない。
Oh, I totally understand her character. Like,
寝てるの？
nope.
一応毎日2時間は寝てるので。まあなんとか。
Gotta sleep.
それ死ぬわよ。
Mm-hmm.
いやーもう死にたいですね。来週カラーもあるし、単行本作業の書き出しも書かなくちゃですし。
Jeez.
手伝うわ。適当に背景埋めるからね。
いやいいです。座っててください。
No, 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 no. She insists.
ああ、もうなんだこの書き込み量。習慣で、なおかつ一人でやる密度じゃないでしょ。アシスタントは育てるものでしょ。
そんな余裕はないです。
I'm really glad that they are focusing on this. I mean, it's not the first time that anime has focused on this aspect, but I'm just glad that it is focusing on it.
先生に何がわかるんですか？
It feels
少なくと
appropriate
もこれ
too.
は間違ってる。作品のクオリティを人質にして、まっとうなコミュニケーションから逃げてるだけじゃないの？
Ooh.
そういうの5000万部売ってから言ってもらえます。こっちはそういうレベルで戦ってるんです。重い期待の中、毎週必死にやってるんですよ。月間でのほほんとやってる人に言われたくありません。でも悪いけど私の方が面白い漫画書いてる。
Oh. Oh shit.
でもそれだけ本質的にエンタメではない。
はあ。本切り型のありふれた展開を王道だと思い込んだ古いやり口。
最近のトーブレがまさにそれでしょうが。
Also, like the difference that Abiko is drawing traditionally, pen and paper, inks and all, whereas she draws digitally.
見ましたよ、今日アマのドラマ。
Oh shit.
ひどかった。
This banter.
根が陰キャなんだから。
先生が陰キャなら私はどうなるんですか？漫画がなければ社会不適合なただの引きこもりですよ。
Don't forget to give her what Aqua wanted.
私だって本当は。
ああ、もうメソメソと。黙ってペン入れ進めなさい。
先生こそ背景なんていつぶりに書くんですか？パーツ歪んでたらボツ出しますからね。
This passive aggressiveness on we're dying, but we love our job. We're dying. But it's great.
今週こそやばいっていつも思いながら、なんだかんだ間に合ってしまう。
Oh, beautiful
どう
shots
して
here.
なんでしょうね。ひどいことたくさん。
いいわよ。私も大概だし。ただ、よそであれ言ったら速攻で縁切られるから気をつけなさい。
Hmm.
私は今日アマのドラマ嫌でしたよ。先生の作品はもっとすごいのに。今日からお世話になります。背景とかあまりうまくないですけど、精一杯頑張ります。
Abiko is really a representation of somebody who is super passionate, not just about manga, but just art in general.
汚されるの
Like,
絶対に嫌なのは私が一番よくわかってるんです。
oh, great voice acting too.
あのドラマ、私はやってよかったって思ってる。
Hmm. And she's watching the good episode.
陶器役のアクア君からあなたへって。舞台の
Ah,
脚本書くなら参考になるかもしれないわよ。
smart. The episode's gonna end, but smart of Aqua to let her actually watch a stage play and like see how it is. Let it be sort of an example. But that was a really good episode. I really love that episode. It touches upon a lot of really good subject matter. Damn, watching the ED just reminded me that this episode started with Ruby. And once again, we're not really getting a Ruby subplot. Which honestly, I'm glad, you know? Like, if you don't have anything to do with Ruby, that's fine. You know, like, don't force her into the story. You know, like, I'm glad that the episode pivoted to something that is far more, not just interesting, but something that is also tied with the actual main plot of the arc, you know, concerning the author and all. All right, watching the stage play. I don't think they're gonna show the stage play actually.
今の舞台ってああいう感じなんですね。思ってたのと全然違いました。
There we go.
いやー、先生直々に書いていただけるなんて楽しみだな。
I see that reaction from her.
先生、
Oh,
腹割って話しませんか。
the immediate change in character there.
仮に天才小説家がいたとして、そいつが初めて書いた漫画のネームが100点になりますか。
なるわけないです。
舞台脚本だって同じです。
Exactly. There's a difference in the medium. A difference in how to write them.
僕らはそのまま採用する可能性がある。そこそこグダグダな舞台になるでしょうね。
Or just cutting straight to the point there.
僕は舞台に関わる100人以上の仕事を守らなきゃいけない。
Mm-hmm.
こっちはジジイのの1本や2本る覚悟で仕事してるんです。
Excuse me, what?
この舞台見てくれたんですよね。今回の脚本はゴア君のものです。
わかりました。私もプロの仕事を信じます。
Alright. There we go.
クラウド上のテキストデータをリアルタイムで共有。それをこの場でアビコ先生とゴア君が通話しながら修正していく。
I mean, it's better for the both of them to actually discuss about the script and compromise with each other, right? And not just rewrite the entire thing from the very beginning.
それだとだいぶ原作の展開から離れませんか。
いいんです。大事なのはキャラの柱なので。
There we go. Look at this.
そこさえ変わらなければ何やっても OK。
だとしたらブレイドはバトルの後、刀を肩に置きながらセリフというのはどうです？
ああ、ありあり。分かってるじゃない。
Hey, look at this.
そういえばゴアさんが脚本書いた舞台見ました。だいぶ好きでした。
Oh.
ここもカット。
カットカット。
Well, don't cut everything.
やっぱり危惧した通りになった。クリエイターが団結すると尖った作品になりがちなんだよな。
It got too ambitious now, did it? It got way too ambitious. Oh no.
役者の演技に全投げのとんでもないキラーパス脚本じゃない。失敗したら責任は全部こっちのせいってわけ。
Now we've shifted focus from the production team to the casting and the acting. Sweet.
ララライのみんなも新しい脚本にノリノリ。だけど。
マジか。こんなんできる気しねえよ。
You can do it, Melt. I believe in you.
100名、そこはもっと張っていい。
はい。
Hi. Bit of a voice crack there.
トウキ、ここはお前の一番の見せ場だ。もっと本気で。
Yeah.
重傷を負い、倒れた鞘姫、絶望するトウキ。だが、奇跡的に目覚めた鞘姫を目にして、トウキはどういう感情を抱く？
Aqua, just imagine that she's your mother.
ちょっとずつ合わせていけば大丈夫。
甘やかしちゃダメ。
Oh,
アクはあんた感情演技したことないでしょ。
no. I mean, this is a good opportunity to let his emotions out. The guy who's always reserving his emotions.
そりゃそうよ。この中でアクアと一番付き合い長いの私だし。
Duh.
最近知り合ったどこぞのビジネス彼女とは話が違うのよ。
Kind of sounds like copium. We're childhood friends.
感情を高ぶらせ涙を流す演技なんてもってのほか。
感情泣きとか体泣きとか手法はいろいろあるけど、子役な世界でよく使われてるのは、アクアくん、もしお母さんが死んじゃったらどうする？
Way too specific. I was also right. Just imagine it's your mother.
あんただって嬉しかったことの一つや二つあるでしょ。
楽しんでるんじゃねえよ。
Excuse me? What the What? Huh? Huh?
忘れるな。お前は救えなかった。
前にそんな権利は。
You gotta face that conflict, man. You can't keep it locked up forever. It's gonna be a long process for him, though. Especially how traumatizing it is.
家の人に連絡して迎えに来ても。
やめろ。妹には知られたくない。
Hmm.
でも誰かに迎えに来てもらった方が。
だったら。
Oh. It's been a while.
ごめんなさい。突然押しかけてしまって。
いや、いい。あいつの事情知ってるのは俺くらいだしな。
Yeah.
前にもこういうことあったんですか？
まあ、彼女っつうなら話してもいいか。
Oh.
あいつは昔、それやひどい事件に巻き込まれてな。昔のことを思い出すと、たまにああなるんだ。
PTSD。
Yeah.
まあ、そりゃ忘れられねえよな。
How can you forget it?
多少は引きずってるんだから。
I'm surprised that Aqua hasn't, we haven't seen Aqua continue on with his murder mystery.
お前がもっと注意していれば、身を張って守っていれば。
Hmm.
愛。
愛。
Whoa.
アクア君が信奉する14年前に亡くなったアイドル。
She's gonna connect the dots?
初代ともども愛に強い執着。
She's gonna connect the dots.
同居しているいちごプロ代表の名前は斎藤美也子。養子と里親、実の父親。兄弟が星の精を使用する理由。
Lovely direction here. Love the music as well.
愛には実は隠し子がいるとか。
愛。あかね、どうして泣いてるんだ？
ちょっとね、怖い想像しちゃった。私は何があってもアクア君の味方だよ。辛いことは一緒に抱えてあげるからね。
Wow. Maybe she should solve the case. I think she's better at solving this mystery than Aqua is. I mean, you also gotta remember the fact that Akane spent an entire episode in season 1 just studying Like, Akane is a really fantastic, I would say, analyzer. It's like one of the reasons why she's able to be so immersed within a character, with her acting and all, because she does understand the character, right? And it makes perfect sense for her character as well, as somebody who can understand a character to understand the possibility and connecting the dots of, wait a minute, Ai Hoshino and Aqua and Ruby and that was the first 4 episodes of Oshinoko, and honestly, if you can't tell, I'm really enjoying this. I'm really enjoying this season a lot so far. The direction has been really good. The animation, or more specifically, I guess, some of the art style changes from time to time, or I would say the art direction specifically has been really, really fantastic. Like the first episode, and you see our characters acting it out as they are rehearsing, and then you see like the way the show uses I would say like these painterly style whiplashes or these colorful emotions, if you will, that kind of splatters across various different characters, because in a way it's also showcasing that these actors, these people, and the way they are acting, the way they are handling out these scenes are also affecting other people, right? They're in a way painting each other. Does that make sense? And I really enjoy that, because like one of the points of I would say these specific episodes or this specific conflict, the stage play, and we'll talk about that. But one of the main points of this is how each of these people, they're not really competing against each other. They're helping each other to a degree, right? One person is elevating another's performance, and you're definitely gonna see that more in like the next set of episodes. Especially with Akane and Kana, like there's gonna be a big thing happening there, right, in the next couple of episodes. But um ultimately we are setting that up, and I really enjoyed that. And it's not just the actors on actors, but it's also this harmony between the actors, the stage performers, and the writers, and the actual mangaka, Abiko Sensei, which I'll also talk about. But I'm really enjoying this. Talking about like the stage play direction itself. Really fascinating that they are going for. We're going for it. I feel like Oshinoko, especially right now with this, with the second season, and what it's trying to set up, but more specifically what it's trying to say, makes it a really interesting avenue to talk about like the entertainment industry in a more broader sense, and not just for on a specific industry. You know what I mean? Like stories about the movie industry, we've seen stories specifically about let's say like a TV show, or a specific about the anime industry, and I've seen some of these in the past. I'm sure there's more of them in the future, and more that I have not seen, and not just in anime, but like in film and shows in general, right? But with a show like Oshinoko, where we can talk about all of these at once with each individual seasons, like we're not really tied to a specific industry. Like I said, we can focus on a stage play now. Before this, we were focusing on a TV show and a reality show and an idol concert and the idol industry. Like there's a lot of industry in the arts that we can explore, talk about, and criticize. And I feel like that's kind of the strengths of Oshinoko, but also its weakness, because right now I'm really enjoying season 2 because it is specifically focused on the stage play and just the stage play, with a bit of the comic industry, but very minute. But we'll also talk about that later. But the thing that I wasn't really vibing that much with season 1 was mostly how season 1 was kind of juggling a lot of these aspects all at once. Like we got a murder mystery, but then we also got the idol industry discussion, and then we also got the reality TV discussion. We also have the social media discussion, and we also have the general TV adaptation discussion. Like there's so much that the first season is trying to cram in, which was kind of one of the reasons why I may not enjoyed it as much as some other people. I would personally prefer if the first season is more tightly written and more focused on certain elements instead of trying to do them all at once. But with the second season, especially, like a couple of episodes in right now, like 8 episodes in as of recording, the fact that they are focusing single-handedly on this stage play and how that stage play affects the main story overall and the main characters overall really makes it a really compelling showcase for me, because I'm really engaged with this. I'm really enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. So really major props to like the story, right? And even in this specific I guess arc, we're kind of touching upon that a lot, right? We're talking about like adaptations, we're talking about changes in the medium and how to translate from one to the other. And before I talk about like our main characters, I do want to shout out to Abiko Sensei here. You know, like the character that I wasn't expecting to relate and love. You know, her love and passion for the art, you know, for the medium itself, I think is beautifully captured and beautifully portrayed within these episodes, especially episode 3, because it's not just showing like the good side, but it's also showing like the dark side. You know, it's also showing the good and the bad as usual. You know, like you have to show both sides, but it's also the matter of like this is a character who is really passionate about this specific thing, but that passion can also be a form of sacrifice, right? Abiko needs to sacrifice a lot of her well-being in order to pursue her dreams, to pursue her goals, right? And while it is an absolute commentary on the terrible working conditions there, not just for the manga industry, but also the anime industry, like I already mentioned during the reaction, like, I feel like this specific section of the story is kind of a cry for help here, like, hey, spreading awareness here, we're dying, this is not good for us, this is, like, not a good position to be, but at the same time, it's also showing, hey, we're doing this because we love it anyways. And, you know, like, there's nuance in there, you know, like, on one hand, you can really appreciate and you can really have some major respects for a lot of the people in the industry, you know, like mangakas, for example, animators, directors, you know, all of these people who are, you know, fighting their asses off, you know, trying to create this incredible moving piece of art for us to watch, for us to see, to read, you know, and what most of us know, you know, for what most of the audience know is only the final product, right? It's the end product of like, here it is. This is what I made, you know, and we can just easily lash it out and we can, you know, criticize and say like it's good, it's bad, or whatever. And that's fair, right? We do it all the time. But it's also another layer to understand that even when we are criticizing it, for example, we also need to remember and remind ourselves that there is an upbringing behind the art piece. There is struggle behind this, you know, even if it ends up being bad, for example, there is still an effort being put, and that effort, you know, like, and we don't know how much effort is being put, you know, and the show basically, you know, in this sense, especially with episode 3, showcasing like how much Abiko is pushing herself, you know, even passing the deadline, because making art is hard, drawing is hard, adding detail is also hard, but it's also her choice to have these hyper realistic detailed backgrounds, you know, like you look at mangas nowadays, especially, you know, like the weekly releases, and you see like sometimes you see the art kind of decline, or the art style kind of becomes more and more simplified, as opposed to maybe like the beginning chapters where it's more detailed. That's probably the reason, right? It's like it's eating and chewing the artist from, you know, from the inside. And it's, again, like I said, it's very nuanced, if we do want to talk further into it, but overall a really fantastic way to portray it. And I really enjoyed that how the show is also showcasing like the sacrifices that these people make, but also like why they are sacrificing these things. You know, like we see the end product. We see like the passion that they are pouring it in. You know, but yeah, overall, really fantastic side plot on that regard, because really enjoyed that side plot. You know, of talking about like the manga industry, even just for a little bit. But talking about like the stage play and talking about like the difference in medium and the difference in translation between one work to the other, also really fantastic. You know, I wouldn't say that no, actually, I haven't seen a lot of anime or manga dealing with a stage play at all. I have to admit that, because If we're talking about movies, if we're talking about TV productions or animated productions and such, like I've seen anime or manga deal with that before, but when it comes to stage plays, I'm still pretty new to this. So while watching season 1 of Oshi I wasn't that, I would say, um, I wasn't that blown away or impressed by some of the things that they were saying. Like it's still really cool that they are saying it, but it's more so that I've seen this done before, and sometimes I've seen it done better in many regards. But when it comes to season 2, I haven't seen much of stage plays. I know there's like 1 or 2 mangas about it, but I don't even remember the titles for it. But yeah, could be also the reason why I'm kind of enjoying this more, because I am kind of seeing something new. Um, but yeah, translations between mediums, right? Getting a bit sidetracked there just for a bit, but I also enjoyed how these specific set of episodes are kind of talking about like how one story in one medium cannot be fully adapted faithfully one to one in another medium. There's hurdles, there's problems, there's obstacles, realistic ones as well, that I feel like a lot of people also don't really put into account. When your favorite manga gets adapted, for example, or your favorite book gets adapted, and then you see like the end product, like you see the movie, you see the show, you see the anime, and you're like, why did they change this? Why is this different? Why are they moving things around? This is not how I envisioned it to be. Well, there's multiple reasons why. It's a lot of people clamor about like, why can't they make it a one-to-one adaptation? And the reality is like it's almost impossible to do so, because mediums, it's already different mediums, but most importantly it's all about like the constraints about each medium. Like every medium has their strengths and weaknesses. When it comes to a stage play and a manga, like there's tons of differences here, and it's not like they can portray it as is. There's budgetary reasons as well. Like let's say you only have a specific budget, and you don't really have that much to showcase everything within the subject matter. What are you gonna do? Well, you gotta improvise. You gotta make sacrifices. You gotta make changes in order to still able to portray the original source material. Try to do it with respect. Obviously, I feel like that's like the main thing. That's the main point. You can change it, but ultimately, as long as you have respect to the medium, that's fine, right? But yeah, I really enjoyed that they are showcasing this, and they are also showcasing this in a way where we see how the perspective between a person who doesn't understand it at first, in this case, Abiko Sensei, and the people who do understand it, like the writers, Goa-kun, and all of the other people involved with the stage play, like, it is what it is. We gotta make changes, we gotta compromise, we gotta improvise, but we're also playing with the strengths of the individual mediums, right? And hopefully by watching, hopefully by people watching this anime, they get a better understanding and a better appreciation of certain adaptations. And when an adaptation changes certain things, like don't necessarily lash it all out and say like how terrible these things are and why can't it be possible. Like there's multiple reasons behind the scenes that we don't even know about, right? We can have our imagination run wild in how things went bad, for example, but there's many things running on behind the scenes that we don't even know. Like it may not necessarily even be like the writers or the director's fault. It could be like the higher ups, like the executive producers or somebody at the company, meddling around and changing things. Like there's a lot that comes in to an adaptation. But yeah, really enjoyed that these first couple of episodes kind of acknowledge that and also showcase how we can still get a really good adaptation while different in certain areas, but still playing the strengths of the medium that it is being adapted to. But moving on from that to our actual main characters and I guess our main story, what I do like about this season so far is how the murder mystery is kind of being put aside. I know that's kind of like the main thing for Oshinoka. We're trying to figure out like who the father is, who tipped the murderer, where Ai lives and kills her and whatever. Like we're trying to figure out like who it is that gave them the information. But I'm kind of glad that they're not really focusing on that much within the season, because we are focusing almost our entire focus on the stage play, which is I would say is what matters most right now, because the stage play, when we have a story where a character is dealing with certain conflicts, and then these characters are also performers or actors, and they're playing on whether it is a stage play or a theater play or a movie or a show or whatever, the fictional character that they are portraying can easily be tied directly with the main character's personal conflict. And we definitely see that later on when the stage play actually begins, right? So it is a really, I would say it is almost necessary that we put aside that murder mystery for a bit, because we're not advancing that plot. No, we're advancing the character's plot. We're progressing the character development of Aqua specifically, but also Akane and Arima, right? These two other supporting characters who have their own upbringings in the past that we're going to be seeing much later on within the next couple of episodes. But we're showcasing a lot of these characters. We're setting them up within these 4 episodes. And I'm really I'm really loving how I am getting a bit more invested with these characters, more so than season 1. But yeah, really fantastic stuff. Ruby, on the other hand, not really getting much screen time, and maybe for the better, because when the show isn't really focusing on Ruby, in the sense that within this specific arc, right, we're focusing on a stage play. We already know who the characters are going to be in the stage play, so Ruby doesn't really have any place in here, right? There's no reason to force her into the narrative or to show more screen time of her, because that's gonna take away like the flow and the plot progression of the stage play, in my opinion. Like if we can focus entirely to the stage play, all the more better, and that's kind of what they're doing. Ruby having very minimal screen time right now also is also telling me that we're gonna be getting a Ruby focused one probably after the stage play, because again, like the thing about season 1 that I was kind of not really vibing that much is season 1 we are focusing a lot on Aqua and his quest for vengeance and his murder mystery case and whatnot. So every time we kind of jump back into Ruby, it's like, well, I mean, I get that they're trying to show the other half, but the other half isn't really contributing that much to the main story, the main plot, if that makes sense. Even by the very end when we got like the idol performance in season 1, it almost feels disjointed between or separated from like Aqua's storyline. Like Aqua and Ruby's storyline feels almost like two different lanes, and not necessarily one that is going on the same direction. I mean, it is going on the same direction, but it's like, again, like two different lanes that not necessarily can be mixed together well when we're also juggling like 5 other subplots in season 1. But hey, season 2 has been really good. I've been enjoying it a lot more. It's more focused, it's more concise. The direction itself, as I already mentioned, has been really, really good. It gets better. And ultimately, I am excited to see where this season goes. Really do. Really am. Yeah. That's my review for Oshinoko Season 2, Episodes 1 to 4. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you do, hit the like, subscribe. You know the drill. See you all next time. Take care, everybody. Have a nice day. Peace.